Hello, good morning, SM fans, wherever you might be watching us here again. I remain the host anchor Chigoze Ndebo, bringing you away on biased reportage of events across Nigerian states and, of course, the world at large. Of interest today is the continued massacre of the Nigerian citizens in Plateau State. Plateau boys again. This recklessness and the incessant attacks on the communities and, of course, on the people of Plateau State presupposes there is a more, of course, ulterior motive to this. And the angle we have to look, what are the interests of the military or security operatives? Why have they not been able to live up to expectations? Why has it become, of course, a secondary issues of concern when it comes to the safety of life and property of the supposed citizens? Of course, these nagging issues continue to beg for answers. And how long will this endless rhetoric continue? And just of recent, we saw children, mothers killed and littered on the floor in the pool of their own blood. And the security operatives came up to say that the terrain is something they have not mastered. They can't imagine why the life of the masses of the supposed citizens are in jeopardy. Why is it that the supposed entry to these communities or plateau states has not been blocked by the military? Where is intelligent gathering? This is a government that is telling the world that they have no tracking equipment, and the president ordered for the tracking equipment. Nigeria, that have lasted for more than 60 years, has no tracking equipment to combat terrorism, to combat terror and criminality. What does that presupposes? With the billions of naira expended, of billions of dollars voted to fight insecurity. And it appears there is level of sabotage on the part of the government. How can you tell me that for barely 2 decades, Boko Haram has been terrorizing, inflicting horrible, devastating, of course, damage to the country called Nigeria? And yet you are telling me that for the past 20 years, the government of Nigeria have not been able to procure tracking gadgets to monitor the activities of these notorious elements who possibly may have reasons, of course, for agitating or for killing innocent citizens. One of the reasons to Islamize Nigeria and to force everyone to become subject to Islamic rules, and which unfortunately about 12 states in Nigeria has imbibed and adopted as Sharia. Full practice of Sharia law is involved in 12 states of Nigeria and some other states that are still practicing that partially. Now, the question is, why is it that the Nigerian government have not been able to, of course, arrest this major issue of insecurity? Even after the onslaught, Tinubu told us it will not happen again. But unfortunately, in less than few weeks, the worst is happening. And this, of course, raises concern. If the government cannot guarantee the safety of life and properties within Nigeria, then there is no need, of course, being in government, as rightly submitted by the Minister of FCT Wike. If the government cannot uh, guarantee the safety of life and property of the citizens, there is no need being in government. I think by that statement from Wike, he has already indicted the federal government of Nigeria and himself, who is part of this system, a failing system or a failed system, because any government that failed in this primary responsibility has failed. And if in the light of this that the Nigerian citizens become so much helpless, frustrated and desperate, of course uncertain what becomes their future, or of course what happens to them in the next hour, then that raises a concern. Why should we continue as a country? Who should be held responsible? Some, of course, are living in denial, giving excuses, reasons why they could not meet up with the security breach within the Nigerian state. Being a sovereign state is presupposes that you have the capacity to protect life and property of the supposed citizens. But when you fail in this primary single objective and responsibility of any responsible government, of course, that presupposes that there is no government and is a state of anarchy. Manning of borders of the plateaus, but unfortunately that was not done. And of course, the killer squad or militias came attacking the second time as they rightly promised. And of course, they did that and went home without being checked, without being arrested, without being apprehended by any security operatives. Now, would you at this time say, of course, the security operatives could not be absolved of this complicity? Nigeria is in the state of quagmire, in the state of uncertainty, and anybody denying this, of course, could be living in the world of fantasy, in the world of oblivion, or possibly, of course, could check his sanity because he may have lost his sanity, and that is quite unfortunate. Anybody believing that Nigeria is working at this time or Nigeria is safe for the Nigerians, of course, to examine his sanity because with the level of killings, manning of innocent citizens helplessly, I mean, that shows that we have lost it as a people. And of course, we continue to hold the government accountable. The service chiefs, what are they doing? What are the lieutenants doing? What are the subjects doing? What exactly went wrong? Why would this reprisal attack be successful by these hooligans? Some have argued, of course, that no government, no insecurity could strive beyond 24 hours without uh, the conspiracy of those within the corridor of power, as rightly submitted by the former military head of state, Abacha. To this end, I think I have come to agree with him. And anybody denying the reality, just Abuja, look at the level of kidnapping epidemic of which unfortunately Wike is living in denial, and Nigerians were uh, lambasting him for such. And this is what informed the position of the agitators for the restoration of Biafran state. Because it is very clear and glaring that the Nigerian government has failed in protecting the life and property of the Nigerians, which is the primary essence of governance, and the welfare of Nigerians have not, of course, been prioritized by this government, not just this government of Tinubu, but successive governments. And to this end, some are calling for the agitation and restoration for the Biafran state, of which the supposed prime minister in of the Biafran government in Israel, Mazi Simon Ekpa, is taking the lead. And of most recent, we learned that most of the instructions he gave have been implemented. That all the oil, of course, companies in the east or the supposed Biafran territory should exit or recognize the Biafran government in exile. Otherwise, they will suffer great loss and their safety cannot be guaranteed. One of the major pipelines, oil pipelines, has been set up, has been blown up, and which Simon Ekpa take responsibility of that. That these are the, of course, activities of the Biafran Liberation Force in executing the instructions given by their uh, general, Master Simon Ekpa. And to this end, some multinationals are leaving the shores of this country, not just because of what is happening, but attributed to the fact that there is unrest in the east where the major oil pipelines lies, and this is quite unfortunate. This we begin to ask questions. With all the oil explorations for barely six decades now, Why had Nigeria not been able to face the issue of economy? I mean, why is the life and safety of the Nigerians not guaranteed by the Nigerian government? What are they doing? What excuses can they give? Are they tenable for losing the lives of Nigerians? Of course, in the most horrible and disgusting manners. It is quite unfortunate, and to this end, people are losing their jobs. People are, I mean, frustrated. The masses are impoverished the more, and things seemingly not working. Not every facet of the economy is working. And anyone who think may want to justify, just like the Christian Association of Nigeria came to, of course, uh, in the visit or solidarity visit to Tinubu, affirms that Nigeria should, of course, be present with the Tinubu administration, that possibly there could be a rare of fall. How will that happen in the midst of insecurity, in the midst of instability, economic instability? The nation is at the verge of total collapse, economic wise, security wise. And what guarantees that future if the present is not certain? If the present cannot be guaranteed, what guarantees, of course, there could be a future in Nigeria? Of course, this is a question, a puzzle everybody must not fail to answer. If this current present situation persists and lingers, what guarantees that there could be a future, of course, full of hope and aspirations? It is quite unfortunate, but these are the realities staring at us. The president is saddled with the responsibility constitutionally to protect life and property, which he took an oath of allegiance. If he fails in this, you keep on seeing repeated killings and murders of innocent citizens, defenseless, including children, I mean, who have become victims of this cruelty, this victim of these barbaric tendencies, and unchecked, of course, incidents and killings by these hooligans and these testable elements, which unfortunately the government is playing conspiracy up to this, because if they fail to arrest and apprehend the conspiracies, I mean those assassins, those murderers of your supposed citizens, you are accomplice to such crime because you have failed in your primary responsibility. And that indicts the government and its security operatives from being culpable or responsible for the death and massacre of the Nigerian citizens. Yes, except you prove otherwise by bringing to book those perpetrators of this heinous crime, which you are saddled, of course, with such responsibilities under the constitution of the country. When you fail in this, you should, of course, take responsibility for such failure and do not blame anyone for such. And to this end, what are we anticipating? It is very clear that the government or the security authorities are not prepared. Nobody could trust the security apparatus. I mean, that just is a very sensitive issue, and we must not, of course, deny the reality that the government has been given opportunity, of course, to correct their errors and anomalies, but unfortunately, they are proven otherwise, that they lack the capacity and, of course, the political will to address the myriads of problems bedeviling the Nigerian country. And if anyone will think at this time that there is all is well with Nigeria, then he must examine his sanity. Because with what is happening, economic wise, security wise, and social wise, nothing is working. And nothing guarantees, of course, a better future with this development. Would we at this time advocate for this solution of Nigeria? Could that foster a better prospect for every region? It has become a subject of discourse, and we cannot continue to live in denial, as rightly submitted by, of course, the most respectable senior advocate of Nigeria. when, according to him, he met with the president and the Senate president, telling him that it is only dialogue and not kinetic that can solve the problem of Nigeria once and for all. And if possible, the ethnic nationalities that makes up Nigeria can come together and discuss, of course, the way forward or the continuity of Nigeria or a possible dissolution. If that becomes necessary, there is nothing wrong. Of course, should Nigeria divide of and part their ways, because there are more smaller countries who are doing exceptionally well, and possibly that could foster and engender prosperity and healthy competitions across different regions. So Nigeria, of course, the fight. I am an advocate of humanity, and if that will make humanity better, I strongly support, of course, the dissolution of Nigeria, of course, and support the position of Dr. Olisa Abakoba, who has seen it all, who has been, of course, a senior advocate of Nigeria. He has seen that the illegal constitution or the faulted constitution could no longer foster peace, unity, and prosperity, and of course cannot guarantee the safety of anyone within the Nigerian territory. And to this end, Simon Ekpa is championing the cause of Biafran restoration. According to him, he said he will end Nigeria. Well, how could he do this? It becomes a subject of concern until we continue, of course, to see issues and events unfold. But the reality is that millions of Nigerians have lost confidence in the Nigerian project, and as such, nobody has confidence in Nigeria and the government of Nigeria under these current circumstances. And that presupposes that millions have lost hope under the renewed mantra for hope. It is quite unfortunate those who promise hope, unfortunately, are the killers of this hope, because they could not even guarantee the safety of life and property, or neither, of course, create an enabling environment for business and economic activities to strive. On this note, of course, I will leave you to express yourself via the comment section. Tell us what you think, of course, regarding these submissions. It is my personal opinions, and of course, I stand by my opinion regarding having examined and studied the antecedents of the past, of the most recent, of the present, and of course, that will redefine the way forward for humanity. The past, of course, we have lost. The present is our concern. If we fail to address the present, of course, with all commitment and sincerity, we cannot have what is called the future. And these submissions are real and true. Keeping it real here in Cobweb TV has been our greatest commitment. Kindly hit the like button, share these videos, of course, and let people get to know the most in-depth analysis here is happening here in Cobweb TV. Cobweb TV is the, of course, online television channel to watch anytime, anywhere, and you must not miss any moments here. It is very intriguing, exciting, and entertaining, and informative, and we leave you with this until we come your way in subsequent edition. Remember, blessed. Bye for now.